Good morning, everyone. My name is Elena Febiola Sihombing, and I'm from 6C class. And today I will explain a little bit about my research method proposal. So the title is Teachers' Efforts in Increasing Students' Interest in Learning English. Okay, in chapter 1 is about introduction. The chapter 1 is state about the research background of my research. So the learning process is an activity and ability possessed by students which over time experiences change in knowledge, skills, and understanding. The first and most important factor is the student's interest in learning. Interest is defined as an encouragement by someone to do things and activities that interest them. Students who have a high interest in learning are certainly caused by the success of the teacher. Unfortunately, not all teachers can provide good motivation to their students. So in my research background, I made this statement because based what I see in our country, especially in our region, there's still a lot of teacher and students. I'm sorry, there's still a lot of students that don't have interesting when they're learning. Maybe that problems caused by some factors, but in general, students as the center, I mean teacher as the center, basically must provide some ways and motivation to the students so they can interest in their learning. But unfortunately, we can see in our region now, not all teachers can provide that good motivation, so the students can't have some interesting in the learning. So based on my research background, I have some research problems. The first is less attractive media and teaching methods provided by the teacher, lack of motivation given, and there is the sense of boredom that arises from students. So these three problems may be caused, maybe can state by the factors why the students don't have interesting in their learning. Okay, so there are the purpose and we call the research objective in this research. So the first is to find out and find ways or efforts that can be done in increasing students' interest in learning English. Second is to increase student interest in learning in general. So based this objective, I hope in this result of this study, we can ultimately intended to provide and expand information to readers on how to increase students' interesting in learning for general. The second chapter is about literature review. So I have two literature review. The first is theoretical review, and the second is empirical review. So a theoretical review have some subtopic. The first is in my research, we will talk about the conceptualism of learning interest. And the next, student interest in learning English. The third is students' desire in English learning and teachers' role. Based this for theoretical review, there are some empirical review that can that have relationship that can used in my research. So the empirical review is stated by some experts. The first is from Reininger et al. In 2014. They state that learning interest means phenomena that arise based on the interaction of an individual to the learning environment. Meanwhile, Polovi, Joe, and Okoto in 2014 say that learning interest is a psychological trait in which a person is attracted to a sense of fascination, curiosity, and has the energy to process and receive information cognitively. The last is from Paul 2013. He said cognitive interest involves students in learning. This interest tends to be said to be psychological involvement in an event or object from time to time. So best the theoretical and empirical review. I state the third chapter is about the research method. So in this third chapter, I will compile the first one is the research design in my research and how can I collect the data and the other. The first is about the research design. So I used cross-sectional design. So with this research design, the reader or me wants to provide a causal relationship between the level of students' interest in learning English and the role of a teacher in their learning process. Meanwhile, the setting of my research is conducted in schools, especially at the junior high school level. So the author chose the school as a place of research because the research focused on increasing the interest of students in school, especially at the junior high school level. The research subject in this case is the English teacher as the person who knows the level interest of learning from students in a school. So based on my research setting, I will focus collecting the data from students and also the teacher. I will collect the data. So the subject of my research is the middle school students, and how I'm collecting the data is by qualitative data. So the instruments of my data is from observation, after that questionnaire and interview. So these third instruments I will use in the same time to collect my data. So there are some procedure in collecting the data. The first, me as a researcher comes to the school. And after that, researcher observe the learning and teaching process in the classroom. After that, researcher collect the data through questionnaire to students containing activities that they like or maybe dislike in learning English. And after that, researcher collecting information about the level of enthusiasm and interest of students in learning through interviews with an English teacher in several classes. So this is the procedure when I collect the data to school. I'll do so step by step. The first observation, the second is questionnaire, and the last is I used interview. Okay, maybe that's all the explanation of my research. Thank you for your information.